there's that. Anyway, I'm Stan Bush. And this is another edition of Tell Us More, where we talk to people about the different things that they do and how to, what they bring to the table, what their superpower is as far as like helping people out in this world, because that's kind of what we're all actually supposed to be doing here. A lot of times people mistake us for brothers because we look so much alike, but we do think an awful lot alike. This is Stephen Anderson of Busy Fit. And we're going to talk about one thing for sure here, is we're going to talk about how I got my, you see that down that title, how I got my FBS. For those that don't know what that is, fasting blood sugar, how I got my FBS from 173 to 105 in one day. What took a little while because the coaching that came along with him, what was that, 8 weeks?
Actually, it was 13 weeks.
Yeah, it was 13 weeks, but before, because I was getting, I have to be honest, I was kind of getting tired, not tired, but I was like, when are we going to get to the thing?
Yeah, I get that a lot, actually. And that's one of the things I try to help people sort of understand, is that everybody kind of innately want to get there. You just want to get there. But the beauty of it and the longevity of it is really in pacing it out. And for somebody like you who've been through a lot, then you kind of have more experience. So it's just like you want to go ahead and get to the meat of the matter. But for most people who struggle, they need that pace. They need that. So I really did create it for those people, for the bigger masters, not for the super.
Yeah.
People like yourself.
I don't know so much about that, but I will tell you this. I want to say again. This is Stephen Anderson.
Stephen, but that's
Stephen.
Cool. Mm-hmm. That's all right.
I kept going back. Is it Urkel?
No.
Stefan. But no, it's Stephen. I have a son named Stephen.
Okay, well that's really getting it. Just like that's what's in your mind.
Yeah, so it's that's the way it's spelled. So that's kind of stuck in my head. But with Busy Fit, and tell us about how you started. Here's what I want to know, like why you started Busy Fit.
Okay, yeah. The interesting thing is I always wanted to help people get results and get fit. And what I found is what we were doing is the things we would do would help people in a season. But once things got tough and life starts happening, people tended to fall off. Mm-hmm. And my big goal was to find something to help people to develop the habits in order to maintain themselves once the tough times in life come. And habits take time. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the programs you'll see out there that are trying to do something in 30 days or 60 days and just boom, you just want to kind of get it done, lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks or something. You may be able to do it, but can you maintain it? And Busy Fit came about because this was something that I wanted to do to help people maintain what they get, be able to get the habits. Because once you get the habits, it makes it easier to stay on track.
Well, there's two things I would tell you about that. One is that, the thing that helped me a lot about it was there was in the program there's this thing where you do it every day, and one of the things was if you make a commitment to yourself,
make it,
honor it, right? Because there were plenty of times, because even though I wasn't doing like eating the whole 30 thing yet, I was still going to the gym in the morning at, getting up at 3:30, 4 o'clock. People that know me know that that's kind of how I do it. But I was still getting up at 3:30 and 4 o'clock and going to the gym real early. And that sometimes is what made me do it. I was like, well, I made a commitment to do this.
You made a commitment.
Even though Stephen,
right,
not Stefan, he included me in on the rest of this stuff yet. I'm gonna go ahead and make that commitment to do that, and then that makes sense more about how the habit is, because that 5 o'clock, that text you send out with the link to, that daily message, which was really good.
Great.
The message was good.
Thanks.
I watched them.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
It was like, I didn't always get there at 5 o'clock, because it got there at 5 o'clock, 5:01. I tried to get to that thing where I do it every day at 5:01, but really the part about Busy Fit for me is that, like somebody was in today that you need to get with. Mm-hmm. The thing about it for me was that you kind of realize it fits into what you're doing. Remember, because during this course I would ask you like, I would ask you a question and you'd say, well, that's going to be dependent on you. I think that ain't no answer.
Right.
But it was.
It is.
At the end, when you go through the program, and at the end, where you figure out, okay, this is what he's talking about with the food and the things that you're doing. It was really, I can just tell you, it was really good. So, is there anything you want to ask me about the program that, you know, like, because this is the first time, we've seen each other in what?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's actually been about 30 pounds, whether you know it or not.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah. It's been about 30 pounds.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I will say this about that is that one of the things about the program was that it is not about, is again, like I told the guy this morning, it wasn't about the weight.
Right.
Right?
Right. The weight is really I call it a byproduct. Mm-hmm. It's what happens when you start thinking and eating and living like a healthy person. The key is to start thinking, eating, and living like a healthy person. Sometimes we don't realize that, you know, we're not big bone. Everybody's pretty much
big bone.
Yeah, people say that, you know, well, I'm kind of big bone.
Yeah,
no. What it really is that everybody is meant to actually be lean and fit. Mm-hmm. But what happens is our habits and our customs, our traditions, where we brought up, all of these things have caused our bodies to respond in a way where we have maintained all this extra weight. We have these health problems, diabetes and heart disease and all these other things. Well, when you, what I call, sow into your body. So, you know, whatever a man sows, that's what he also reaps, right? Mm-hmm. So when you sow into your body that good seed, your body then gives you back good results. And so my focus is not on the weight per se. I do kind of lead with that because that's one of the things that people are most concerned about. But the real beauty of it is to start sowing into your body the things that will cause your body to give you those good things back.
Well, what he just said was, I was laughing because you said, you know, the seed, right?
That's right.
Which we can't have, we don't eat seed, right? Because that's
right.
That's a grain thing.
That's funny.
That's the first thing popped in my mind. Well, you know, we ain't supposed to have that grain thing, but it's actually okay to have grains after you figure out the part that I'm going through now is figuring out, like, I know the example that I use is, I just ate salad, well, not just salads, but I didn't have any salad dressing, right? Because it's like, man, this is a struggle. So I just learned how to eat a salad without salad dressing. I might put a little lemon on it sometimes, squeeze a little lemon on it. But the first time that we went out to eat, you know, we went to Longhorns. It wasn't the first time, but the time that I went out and I said, okay, well, I'm going to try something different, right? And I'd already gone through the 28 days.
Okay. And
it was that first week, and we went to Longhorns. Didn't have no bread, you know, because they got that garlic or something, I don't know. But the salad dressing that I chose was the one that I used to think, this is the most healthy. Right? So what was it?
I don't know, maybe a blue cheese?
No, because I know cheese is the dairy thing, right? Okay. But it was the guy I was talking with this morning. He would have chose the same thing, which is raspberry vinaigrette.
Okay, yeah.
Right? You go like, hey, raspberry vinaigrette. Well, what happened was, and what it really showed me was when they brought this out, and I put the raspberry vinaigrette on it, it really emphasized the point about it being super condensed or compressed, tasty. How they get you where you're addicted to it, because. As soon as I took that taste of raspberry vinaigrette, I was like, "Hey, this ain't raspberry. There is no raspberry in the world this strong. I mean, it is just not possible to grow a raspberry that had as much flavor that was in that vinaigrette.
That's right.
Not possible." So I figured it out. I was like, "Okay, so this is what they're talking about when they're talking about this." And what really surprised me was the next morning was I could feel it, right? Mm-hmm. Because you know, I don't know if you know this or not, but like it says, my FBS, that Sunday morning, the way the program starts, folks, is that it's a Sunday morning is when I started. And my fasting blood sugar was 173, right? Which is way high. You try to get it below 120 is what you're trying to do. And so I set in my goals, you don't know this, but I set in my goals that I would be at below 120 in a month, right? I went to 105 the next day.
Wow, just like that.
Just like that, because I said, okay, no dairy, no grains, and no sugar. The sugar wasn't really a problem. Grains, I'd cut down bread, but I wasn't really cutting out other grains. Yeah. And so my FBS went from 173 to 105 like overnight. And now, because I'm testing stuff, like I tested a lot of ice cream at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Right? I was just testing it. That's all I was doing.
Just a little test.
I was just testing. My FBS went up. It didn't go to 173 again, but it went up. And so the next morning, it was back down. And so that tells me that I know I can control that now. Like I'm okay. If it's going to go up, hey, if I'm going to have this is what the price is going to be.
That matters. See,
right.
That is the magic of it, because I don't want people to think that you have to eat 100% all the time. I don't eat 100% all the time. I don't suspect you will going in the future, but you know what the damage is.
Yeah.
And you can then say, okay, I know this is the effect, so is this worth it?
Right.
And if it is worth it, go for it. But if it's not worth it, then you have information, and that information is power. What I want people to avoid is going to the doctor and being surprised. Mm-hmm. You've done all these things that the system has told you is healthy all this long time, and now you find out that it's not necessarily healthy for you. Mm-hmm. And going through this process, that's why when you ask me that question about the foods and this and that,
yeah.
The key is to find what works for you. Mm-hmm. There are certain foods that I can eat, or that I should say you can eat, that won't be healthy for me. Mm-hmm. But I know that, all right? And so I will avoid those, because to me it's not worth it. So that is the magic of it, the power of that knowledge of knowing. You don't have to depend on Dr. Phil, Oprah, Richard Simmons, anybody else. Mm-hmm. You know for yourself what works for you.
Well, I can tell you, you used the term damage. I chose the word reward rather than I know what the damage was going to be. I know what the reward was going to be. So, and I can tell you that the Bluebell Camo is not worth the damage, but the Christmas sugar cookie, it was the reward.
It was worth the damage.
Yeah,
the reward was worth the consequence.
Yeah, it was. It was, because especially when okay, I can get back to this tomorrow. It's not like, okay, this is going to take me a week and a half or 2 weeks or anything like that. I can get back to it tomorrow.
Right.
So we try to keep these things really short, really brief. And so, is there anything I can tell you all this? How do you get in touch with you?
You can go to www.busyfit.com, and when you click on a button there, you'll be able to get onto my schedule. Because actually what I've done, I hadn't even had a chance to talk to you about this, but I have a 2.0 that is out now. And I have included some extras and a lot of the feedback that I got through. Even though people got great results through the program, there are some things that the people wanted to see. Yeah. So I added that in the 2.0, and what I've decided to do is I don't really just want people to sort of just jump on board. I want to talk to you, and I want to kind of get an idea of what your concerns are, what your obstacles are, what your challenges are as you see them. And then we can start outlining a strategy and seeing if this plan is going to be something that'll work for you.
Is that before they buy into it? Or?
Yes. So you go to www.busyfit.com.
Wait a minute, it's busy-fit.
Busy, thank you. That's right.
Yeah,
it's
busy-fit. It ain't busy fit.
That's right, busy-fit.com. And you'll be able to click on there and then get onto my schedule. So there's no email or anything else. It's just click the button. It'll take you to the openings in my calendar. You'll be able to link in, and we'll connect and have a conversation, get a strategy.
And Facebook.com/busy-fit?
No, now the Facebook one is some long part, but on Facebook, if you look up Busy Fit,
I'll fix that for you.
Yeah, Healthy Habits Coaching. In the search box, if you do that, Healthy Habits Coaching, then you'll be able to get connected with me there.
Or you can just get in touch with me, and I'll put you in touch with him, whatever. Because the thing is that I can tell you for a fact that it works. I want to ask you this: what is your superpower?
You know what's strange is I actually do have something that I've called my superpower about the last 2-3 years. We used to have a platelet center over in Macon, and I have an AB positive blood type. So when I was growing up, I learned that I'm like, this basically like nobody wants this because you know A's can't take it, O's can't. Nobody can take it except me. But I learned that I'm a universal donor for platelets. And not only am I a universal donor, but I have an exceptional amount of platelets without it being in the dangerous level. So whenever I would go to give platelets, it could serve 3 people because of my platelet count. So I used to tell people, so every time, instead of it being a one for one, I'm a 3 for 1, and I also happen to have the universal type that can help anybody in terms of cancer victims. Those were the ones who mainly got those. So yeah, that's my superpower.
So is that a superpower? Yeah, that is a real superpower. As always, we're going to check out now. Peace, love, and understanding. I will see y'all down the road.